going into our second style of workout. Today we're going to be working on recovery, mobility, flexibility. You had a long week at work. You had a lot of hard workouts this week. You feel beat up, your muscles are sore, your joints are aching. We're going to go through recovery to try to make your body feel better today so that you're ready for that next workout, okay? So a little bit of the equipment that we're going to have today that we're going to use. This is called a booty band. It's a cloth band. So if you hear me refer to a booty band in the workout, that's this one. The next band is a Versa band, all right, versatility band. We're going to use it for a bunch of different things. It's elastic. It says the resistance on it, how heavy they are. And the last one's going to be a TheraBand that we're going to use today also. If you don't have a TheraBand, you can also use things like these little surgical tubing. They work also just like that. They all come in different resistances and weights that we can use. Next, we're going to move on. We're going to use the foam roller, which is going to be your best friend and your worst enemy. You're going to hate every second of it, but at the same time, love every second of it to help heal your body up. And that's all the equipment that we're going to use today as we go through the workout, okay? So we're going to get started. The first exercise we're going to do is going to be working on your hips. Everybody's going to get set up, feet shoulder width apart, toes are pulled back, heels are up. We're going to go right into the pelvic tilt first, all right? So here we go. Hips are coming up, pressure against the band, squeeze at the top, control it on the way down. We're going to go for 10 reps on each one of these movements. So you notice Olivia here in the front, she's got her knees open, resistance against that band. She's driving through her heels, her toes are pulled up and slightly turned out, and she's squeezing the glutes at the top. Slow, methodical movements, contractions at the top. So this is Olivia. She's a professional ballet dancer here from the Ballet Theater of Maryland. She's been with me for a long time. She's a senior vet, so watch her. She's going to do it right. Next, we got over here all-around badass and superhero heavyweight champion from Maryland Championship Wrestling. Check this guy out. Good. So he's going to show you what a stiff, big guy like me looks like doing recovery and mobility. It'll be great. Down here, we got Clara working with us today. Again, another professional ballet dancer from the Ballet Theater of Maryland. She's also been with me for a while. She's going to do all kinds of wild and exotic, extremely difficult movements today, just because she performed yesterday. All right, here we go. All right, next movement we're going to is going to be the in and out. We're going to put our heels together, feet together, hips stay flat on the ground. We're going to open to the outside, squeeze. It's okay to roll out onto the outside edges of your foot to get full extension, and then back in slow. So we want to go out 1,000, back in controlled 1, 2, 3, and 4. Over here we have the owner of En Route Personal Training, Sherry, my beautiful wife, 63-year-old grandmother, bodybuilder extraordinaire. She's going to be walking around correcting form also today too. Neither one of us are doing this exercise workout because we can't. No, I'm just kidding. All right, good. Now we're going to go to the combination of the first two exercises. We're going to do a glute bridge, a pelvic tilt with an in and out attached to it. So we're going to put our feet back in the original position. Our toes are pulled up and turned out. We're going to bridge up, squeeze our glutes. We're going to extend the knees out to the side. Control it on the way back in, nice and slow. Good. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath, all right? Breathe in on the way up, breathe out on the way down, take your time. Nice, methodical, slow movement. Good. So that's the pelvic tilt with the in and out. Perfect. All right. You pick your rep range. This is your workout at your pace. This should be relaxing. This is recovery. You're not trying to kill yourself with these exercises. 12 to 15 reps, 10 to 12 reps is perfectly fine for all of these movements. Next, we're going to turn onto our side, so everybody's going to face towards me, and we're going to go into the clamshell position next. So it's important for this one that we got the knee at 90 degrees to the hip, the feet are turned up and slightly to the sky. We're going to start with the band in the stretched position, the heel is up, and that's your starting position. So from here, she's going to raise up straight to my hand, and then back down, keeping the band tight the whole time. Her core is stable, good. And she's putting pressure through this leg into the floor at the same time that this leg is lifting up. 12 to 15 reps, nice and slow, breathe, perfect, good. Head positioning is perfectly fine. You can do like Clara's doing, she's got her arm down like she's laying in bed on a rainy Sunday. You can brace your head up, you can sit up on your elbow, whatever you feel is the most comfortable for you. And perfect, good job. So the next one we're gonna go to is called the barn door. We're gonna take this toe, we're gonna put it directly behind that heel. From here, she's gonna bring her knee straight out towards my hand and then back down to the knee. Good, keeping that band tight the entire time. This is your barn door. All right, I hear heavy breathing back there. Who's getting some? I think that's Ken. He's smiling, that means it's burning. Good, nice job. Pretty work. Good, again, pick your rep range, 12 to 15, 8 to 10. This is completely on you. When you're finished, you're gonna flip around, you're gonna stay facing this way, and you're gonna put your feet down here, head this way, and we're gonna hit the other side. We're gonna go back to the clamshell, and then move on to the barn doors. Knees are up at 90 degrees, toes are pulled back, top foot slightly to the sky. Constant resistance on the band. Nice, good. Pretty work. Good. These guys don't need much cueing because they've been doing it so long, their technique's perfect. It's great. Good. All right, once you've hit your rep range and you're happy, you got a little burn going on in the hip, we're gonna go right straight to the barn door next. So you're gonna go ahead and put that toe behind the other foot. You're gonna pivot and turn that knee out, back to the rear. Good, perfect. Good, remember to the down leg, the one that's on the floor, you're putting resistance down into the floor. Little tiny subtle movement using little tiny muscles in the hips. Very overlooked muscles. You get people that can squat 400 or 500 pounds, they come in here and they put these bands on and they're dying in 10 seconds. The big muscles can't be as strong as they can be until the little muscles are as strong as they can be. Perfect, and relax. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move into our fire hydrants. So we're gonna be on all fours. The toes are pulled up towards the knees. Good. Pull the toes up, there you go, good. And we're going up to the side. Nice flat back, core is stable, abs are tight, and we're gonna lift that left leg up to the sky to keep resistance on the band. Good, back down, left leg up, perfect. Little tiny subtle movement. Very little hip rotation, perfect, under control. Let's pull the sleeve up, get a little better tricep shot, zoom in right here. Nice, good job. Perfect. Once you've hit your rep range, 12 to 15, 8 to 10, whatever you select for today, we're gonna go up to the side, on the other side, to the right. Same technique. Knees 90 degrees to the hip, nice and slow controlled movements. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. Perfect, nice job. All right, and finally we're gonna go to one of our favorites, the partials and the fulls. We're gonna start with a partial. So we're gonna bring the leg up into the bent position, right to here. You notice her foot's flat, like it's pushing up to the sky. She's gonna stay there and pulse up. Little tiny movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now she's gonna go into the full. She's gonna bring her knee next and she's pushing the back wall away. Good. 8 of them. 2, good. Foot on the back wall, push it away. Perfect. Good. Once you've hit your 8 and 8, switch to the other leg, and then we're going back to the partial and then back to the full. 8 and 8 on each leg. Good, perfect. Little tiny pulses, little tiny movements. Hamstrings are contracted, core is stable, back's flat. Remember to breathe. Nice job. And relax. Good, once you're done, you've hit your rep ranges on each side. You can take a break for a second. We're gonna drop the booty bands. And we're gonna go to the Versa band next. So Ken, I'm gonna have you grab your blue Versa band. Claire, you're gonna go yellow. Olivia, you're gonna go yellow. We're gonna start with the penguin walks. So we're gonna take that band, we're gonna put it over top of the feet, so we're gonna be standing inside of the band. Good, and then we're gonna face to the front. All right, so they're gonna establish, they're gonna push that band out and get it tight. So she's gonna step out to the left, and then that band is tight and firm, so she's gonna stay right here. Now what she's gonna do, hands on the hips, so she's gonna keep that band tight, and she's gonna slowly slide to the side like a penguin, waddling across, picking those feet up, keeping those hips tight, back flat and straight. We're gonna walk across, back and forth. Good, just like that. We're firing up all those little tiny muscles in the outside of the hip, working on that glute medius, minimus, and maximus. All those little tiny muscles that are used for knee stability, hip stability, glute strength. Good, and once they get to the right side, they're gonna come back and come to the other direction. Good, same thing. Good. Again, when you're doing this, you're gonna do it until you feel a good burn. If you've got 15, 20 feet in your house, do the full length of your living room. If you got a small space like this, just go back and forth 2 or 3 times. All we're doing is warming these hip muscles up for the stretching routines and the rolling routine that we're getting ready to go into next. Good. All right, go ahead and drop that band. We're gonna go back to the booty bands next. Booty bands are gonna go over the knees, and we're gonna do the side step from the squatted position with the booty bands. Everybody will be facing to the front again. We're gonna go down into that squatted position. Hands are gonna be in the prayer position. Max your bands out, and we're gonna side step to the left. Try to keep your toes directly to the 12 o'clock position. If you notice Olivia's feet, look at Ken's feet, look at Claire's feet. Their toes are all at 12 o'clock. They're not turning out duck-footed. We gotta stay at 12 to make sure we're accessing the glutes. If the toes start to turn out, we're gonna start accessing the hip flexors. Slow and controlled movements, good. Back's flat, chest is up, eyes are up. And perfect, good job. So that is our side step with the booty band. Again, you can do that 3 to 4 times. It's up to you, whatever you feel like you need to get that good burn and loosen your hips up for the day. We're gonna drop the booty bands and we're gonna go back to the Versa band. It's gonna go around the ankles this time. Again, you can use the blue one. Olivia, Clara, use your yellow ones. And we're gonna do that exact same technique that we just did. The only difference is this time it's gonna go around the ankles. Same technique, back is flat, chin and chest are up. Stretch your band out, get some good resistance, slight bend in the knees, toes stay directly at 12 o'clock and begin. Side step, good. Toes at 12, don't let them sneak out on you. Pretty work, good. Nice job. I think Clara needs a heavier band, Sherry. Yeah. Good. Ken said, I'll trade you. Nice, pretty work. All right, fantastic. All right, now our hips are all warmed up. We're gonna start warming up the upper body. So you guys can grab a drink real quick, towel off, whatever you need to do. We're gonna go to Versa bands next. So now we've worked up all the inner workings of the hips, all the small muscles. We're gonna do the same things to the shoulders. So many people nowadays are getting injuries in the rotator cuffs. They're getting injuries from pickleball, racquetball, all these different things, ice hockey, baseball pitchers. So the stronger that we can get the internal workings of the shoulder with these exercises, the more safe that you're gonna be, even if you're like fall on an outstretched arm. So we're gonna work the little muscles of the shoulders next to make sure that they're ready for the stretching exercises that we're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna have you, Olivia, you're gonna be over here, Ken there, Clara, you're over to the side so everybody can see you guys' pretty faces. Arms are gonna go straight out to the front. Chest is up, shoulders are rolled back and down. You're gonna do 15 reps at the chest position, open and close, then 15 reps at the belt buckle position, then 15 reps at the overhead position. Begin when you're ready, go ahead. Oh, Olivia went for the yellow band. I thought oh, Clara went for yellow band too. Oh, they're being spunky today. I thought we were going blue. No easy day for these girls. Good. Chest up tall, arms straight, shoulders locked back and down to the rear. Perfect, good job. Go ahead, Olivia, turn to the side for me like that. So you can see her posture, her shoulders are rolled down, her chest is up, her chin's up, and she's doing the movement from these tiny little muscles in the back of her shoulders. It's a very subtle, very small movement. We're not just throwing hands out to the side because that's not getting us any benefit. Good, perfect, nice, good job. All right, remember to breathe. Knees are slightly bent, good athletic position. We never have our legs locked out. Perfect, good. Nice job. So when we get back to this guy, now we're gonna work a little bit more down here in these lats, the muscles underneath of the shoulder down here. So Ken's pulling back and down, the shoulder's coming back and down, his shoulder blades are retracting to the rear. That's perfect. Good. And once you've hit your 15 on all, we're gonna set those down and we're gonna go to our TheraBands next. All right, so Ken's got the gray TheraBand. Olivia and Claire are gonna be using the purple TheraBands. The first one we're gonna do is a TheraBand pull apart. So we're gonna come right straight to the front. We're gonna pull apart, it's the same movement, chest is tall, shoulder blades are retracted back and down. You set your resistance. If you don't have to do it super heavy. The goal is that your arms stay completely straight and you can pull your shoulder blades all the way together in the back, just like you're trying to crack a walnut between your shoulder blades to the rear. And begin, go ahead. 10 reps on these guys. Good. So if I take my hand, I'll put it right here behind Olivia's shoulder blades like this. Turn to the side, we'll show them. So if I take my hand and put it right here behind her shoulder blade, turn again. Right there, she's trying to bring her shoulder blades together and try to crack my fingers. Squeeze it. That's perfect, good. all the way to the rear. So if your band is so heavy and you got your hands too close, you can't do what she's doing right now, then you gotta lighten it up a little bit. Perfect, good job. All right, so that's at chest level. The next one we're gonna do is overhead. So we're gonna come up to the top, we're gonna pull down to the rear just to the base of the neck, based on your flexibility. If your shoulders are nice and loose and you can pull back to the midline of the shoulder blades, go ahead, 10 reps. This is light resistance, this shouldn't be heavy. We want the arms to stay completely straight. We'll be able to pull down right to the midline of the shoulder and then back up. Under control. Good, we're getting a big stretch right to the front of that shoulder joint. Good. And if you have limited shoulder range and you can't get all the way down, this is perfectly fine, because if Ken's got super tight shoulders right here, that's as much range of motion as he can get, that's perfectly fine. As long as you feel that stretch in the front. Once you're done the pull parts behind the head, the next ones we're gonna go to is the one I call the sword and the scabbard. So we're gonna take the left hand, pin it to the side, the band's gonna start right in the middle of the heart, the pinky knuckle is up, and we're gonna pull straight arm across to the 2 o'clock position. Just like that, and begin, 10 on each side. Perfect, good. Good. Nice, good job. Good, go ahead and flip around again for me, Olivia. Turn again. So again, right here, we're working all the muscles back down through the back of that rotator cuff, right into the middle of the traps, back here in the small of her back, teres major and minor, and all the muscles back here underneath the scapula. Those are good. Switch sides and hit the other side, 10 and 10. Good, and once you're finished, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull out the foam rollers next. So you're gonna put the foam rollers long ways on your mat. You're gonna go ahead and lay down on your foam rollers face up. So I'm gonna have you use the surgical tubing to demonstrate for people that don't have a TheraBand. Ken, I'm gonna have you use this type of strap for people that don't have a TheraBand or one of those. And then Claire, yep, you'll use your TheraBand, perfect. So we're gonna lay down, make sure that your booty and your head are fully supported by your foam rollers, because you don't want your head hanging off. This should just be like laying down flat in bed and relax. So we're gonna do the same technique we just did standing up. This time we're gonna start midline of the chest, we're gonna pull apart, right out, fully, good. And then back up to the front, control the inner movement. So we come down 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, pull down 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice part about this is you're working a rotator cuff, but you're getting a real nice massage in the back, just like that. There we go, good, pretty work. Nice job, good. Again, you pick your rep range, 10 to 15, 12. If it feels great that day because your upper back is sore, go for 20 or 30, it doesn't matter. Good job. All right, now the fun's gonna begin. Who's got sore legs today? We're going to quads and we're gonna foam roll next. All right, so I'm gonna have everybody turn long ways. We're gonna face that way so everybody can see your legs. So the first position we're gonna start on the foam roller is we're gonna start right above the kneecap and toes are gonna be straight down at the 12 o'clock position. All right, so if you notice and you take a look here at Olivia's feet, we're gonna start at 12 o'clock and she's gonna start rolling with the toes straight down to the front. So we're gonna move through all of the different muscles of the quads as we do the foam rolling. Nice and slow, methodical, take your time. This should be relaxing, massaging your muscles, and this is working on the fascial tissue, which is the coating, the layer of fascia that surrounds the muscle. We're trying to release that off the muscle. Some days you're gonna lay on this thing and it's gonna feel like a 10 out of 10. Some days a 5 out of 10 pain-wise, but you just gotta work through it and breathe. Once they're done at the 12 o'clock position, we're gonna spread the knees out a little bit wider and we're gonna go to the duck foot position. So we're gonna turn the toes out. We're gonna turn them out duck footed this way, spread them out a little wider, and we're gonna roll right down to the inside of the knee right here. And take your time, make sure that you're breathing, rolling through. All right, we're gonna go to the pigeon toe position next. So you're gonna bring your toes in, touch your toes, roll back and through. Again, you set your priority to work through this recovery day. If your legs are really sore, this whole routine and the rolling part might take 2 or 3 minutes. If your legs feel pretty healthy that day, it might be 30 seconds as you're moving through the foam rolling technique, but just make sure you're going slow and methodical. All right, so the next one we're gonna move to is we're gonna get set up for our calf muscles next. So everybody's gonna face down towards this way. Good. All right, so we're gonna take one leg, put it up over top the other, and then we're gonna lift up onto our hands, and then we're gonna foam roll the full length of the calf muscle. Let's say you're not strong enough or it hurts your hands or your wrists or your elbows when you're doing the foam rolling. It's perfectly fine for Olivia to put her butt down on the ground and then just rock sideways and roll over the outside, roll to the inside, roll to the outside and roll to the inside. But she wants to do it from the full length of the calf, from her ankle all the way up towards the back of her knee. Take your time and work through the hot spots. Good, you want to get that Achilles tendon, get all the way through that calf muscle. And then switch to the other leg. Same thing on the other side. Again, if your calves feel great that day, you might only be on there for 30 seconds. If you get on there and your calves are killing you, you might be on there 4 or 5 minutes, taking your time to work through that whole entire calf muscle. All right, we're gonna sit up on top of the foam rollers next, and we're gonna go to the figure 4 position, and we're gonna roll through our glutes. So the thing with this one is, remember, it's gonna be the same knee, the same glute, and the same hand. So Olivia's gonna roll towards me, and she's gonna get onto her right glute, and she's gonna roll through that whole entire glute muscle, looking for any sore spots, looking for the hot spots, and she's gonna try to work it from the top all the way down to the bottom. Good. And then if you look back here at Clara, it looks like she's a little bit sore on the outside today. She's gonna roll all the way on the outside of that hip and work up through the top part. So she's working up here in the top and on the outer half of her glute. Looks like Olivia's working more down here at the bottom, right at the top of the hamstring. Ken's kind of working it through the whole area. It's gonna change from day to day. How you sleep, how you sit at your desk. You went hiking yesterday, you worked out, those muscles are gonna be sore in different spots. So you gotta take your time, explore the area, move through the whole entire glute muscle and find those sore spots. Then they can switch legs whenever you're ready. Good. Switch your legs up, Ken. There you go. Good. Let's say Ken gets on a real bad hot spot. He's got one on this side today. Instead of rolling, he can go back and forth and go sideways to sideways. That technique's called flossing. So if you're going against the grain and going side to side, you're flossing the muscle. If you're going with long ways, that's called rolling. All right, next we're gonna get to a little secret muscle that nobody knows that they got sore spots on. We're gonna go out here to your tibialis anterior, which is the muscle on the outside of your shin. So lots of times people think they got shin splints, and I say, hey, you got shin splints? They're like, yep, it hurts right here. That's not shin splints. Shin splints are on the inside, on the bone. We do not foam roll the bone. There's no muscle there. We only want to foam roll the muscle. So we're going to make sure we work this outer half right here on the outside of the calf. And a lot of people, this is super, super tight because you don't even realize it. But every time you move your toes or pick your foot up like that, that muscle's firing. So it's getting thousands of repetitions every day. So we're going to go down into the position. We're going to be in a plank. We're going to turn the foot inside, arches up. We're going to drop the shin down on the foam roller. We're going to roll lengthways just like this, up and down. They're not on the bone. They're on the outside of the muscle, on the outside of the bone. And you dictate how much pressure you want. Like Olivia looks like her legs are really sore today, so she's got a lot of pressure on her hands. Her hips are lifted up. But if you go to the back and look at Clara, she's got both legs on the foam roller digging into hers today. Slide over here a little bit, Clara, and turn to the side. Do that same thing. I would advise moving into this position very lightly because it's tough. Olivia's got very developed calves for dancing for so many years, and those muscles get really sore, so she's really working it. Good. Now when you're ready, go ahead and switch legs to the other side. Pretty work. Again, you can see how slow and methodical Olivia and Clara are moving. Ken's working a little bit faster. His muscles might not be that sore on the outside. I know you had a match last night. Take your time and work through it. If you don't think you're working hard doing these workouts, if you brought the camera over here and looked at Ken's back, you would think that he's been in the bathtub for 20 minutes. He's soaking wet. It's tough. This workout is tough. Even though it looks easy, you're focusing, it'll work you hard. All right, so next, once we're done, we're gonna take the foam rollers, we're gonna move those over to the side, we're gonna start working on some hip mobility drills that are called 90-90 drills. So we're gonna face the camera this way. We're gonna put our feet out a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Good. Ken, I'm gonna have you slide just a little bit over here so we got some more room. Yeah. There you go. That way we can see Clara in the back too, okay? All right, so we're gonna start moving into our rotation of the 90-90 drill, okay? All right, so everybody's gonna go this way first. So we're gonna start internally rotating the left leg towards the ground and then rotate the right out. So why this is called the 90-90 drill is once you get set into that position, you want everything to be in a 90 degree. Off of this hip, 90 degrees all the way down the foot. Then they're gonna transition back over through the other side. In the more advanced stages, when you got real good hip mobility, you can see how straight Olivia and Clara's backs are. Their hands are perfectly up. They're really tall and extended up. That's it. If you're tighter like me and Ken, you might have to keep your hands down and just slowly work through that because this takes time. This isn't easy. This is a very difficult exercise. And then Clara and Olivia, I'm gonna have you keep your chest towards this end of the room when you turn and make it even a little bit more advanced. So when you roll through, you're gonna turn and square your shoulders this way, and that's even more advanced. Good. Perfect. All right, so that's the 90-90. Now we're gonna go into the 90-90 with the sparrow. So this time we're gonna come over. Clara and Olivia are gonna take their heart down to their knee first with a flat back. Ken's gonna move into it slowly. They're gonna come back up. Then she's gonna take her heart down to her shin. Notice she's keeping her arms out straight. She's doing the movement from her lower back, and then her heart's going down to her ankle. These exercises, you can do as many as you want. We're doing 5 or 6 of them today to get the program moving. But if this is a good stretch for you, you can do this up to 20 times per leg. Just take your time. Move through the movement. Nice and methodical. Good. So that is the 90-90 with a sparrow stretch. They're moving through all 3 positions. They're going heart to knee, heart to shin, heart to ankle, slow and methodical, and then remembering to breathe. Good. Perfect. Nice job. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on some thoracic spine mobility and shoulder mobility. So all you need is a wall, clear space at your house. You might need a pillow for something for your knee. Ken's gonna go into the bow and arrow next. So the hands are gonna come straight out to the front, and he's gonna start the rotation to the back. He's gonna drag the hand directly across the chest, rotate through. He's gonna exhale at this point, start bringing the hand back across his chest slowly. He's gonna inhale, come all the way back to the front. Gonna repeat that 5 times. Now he's going over the top. So this is the half moon. This time he's rotating the shoulder to the front, chin to the back. Hand comes back over the top. He's gonna exhale through it. Good, and then he's gonna pull back to the rear straight across his chest. Perfect. He actually has great thoracic spine mobility. Most big guys can't do this. Their shoulders get in the way. Good, and he's pinning the right shoulder into the wall, exhaling, his shin's to the rear, his chest is completely flat on the wall, and he transitions back over to the other side. So for you, you can do this 5 to 6 times, 10 times, whatever time that you need if you feel like you're tight to work through your thoracic spine mobility. We're gonna go a little bit more advanced. So obviously you would switch around and do the same movement to the other side, but now we're gonna go to one that's called a full Nelson movement, okay? So his hands are gonna come up behind his head, his back's flat on the wall. He's gonna take his left elbow down to his left knee. He's gonna slowly bring himself up. He's gonna breathe out. He's gonna transition and rotate his arm across the top, spin through and put his chest flat against the wall, both elbows on the wall, exhale, back through and over the top. Again, when we first started, he didn't have this much motion. Now it's unbelievable. Straight up, rotating through, exhale in, back. So that is your full Nelson out of the bow and arrow drill for thoracic mobility. And perfect, yeah. Let's go to the PVC pipe next, since we got him solo. Maybe come up there. All right, so again, we're gonna work on shoulder mobility. We're gonna come over the top. So So the goal for him is to bring his shoulders up at the top. He's creating space by lifting the shoulders up as high as he can. He's gonna bring it down to the front, all the way back up and over, and he's gonna bring this bar all the way back behind his back to his back of his shoulder blades, as far as he can, getting a big stretch to the chest and the front of the shoulders. Then again, he's gonna create space with the shoulder, bringing it over the top and down to the front. We call those your up and overs for shoulder mobility. Again, this is for you. This is your recovery. If you got super tight shoulders like me and Ken do, you might want to do this 20 times. Take your time. Make sure that you're exhaling and you're inhaling. So that is your up and over. He's now going to transition into his around the world. So this time he's going to move it around, making that good figure 8 motion, coming through, transitioning. Make sure he's inhale and exhale. Perfect. That's the left to right motion. Perfect. Ken, turn to your side for me, please, so they can see you from the side. Same thing, now you get the side shot. You can see how he's moving that bar behind his back. Again, great shoulder mobility. Perfect. Nice job. Good. And relax. Perfect. So those are your up and overs and your around the world. Perfect. Good job. All right, so next we're going to go into the figure 4 hamstring stretch. So we're going to lay down flat on the ground. We're going to pick our left leg up and cross it over our right leg. We're going to reach back and grab behind the knee. Pull the knee into your chest. So right now we're going to be getting a very big stretch in our left glute muscle, our right hamstring, our right calf. If you notice, Clara and Olivia are pretty flexible because of the ballet. They can bring their hands over the top, reach up here onto the back of the Achilles tendon and pull back and down and tilt that toe back to the rear and get a real nice stretch in the back of the knee and the hamstring. That's perfect. Again, when you're stretching, a minimum I would hold these stretches for 30 seconds. But it's up to you. If you're experienced and you want a real good stretch, you can hold these stretches for up to 1.5 minutes. Take your time, relax, make sure that you're breathing into the stretch. There's no rush. They're going to transition to the other leg. Same thing. Again, this is your figure 4 stretch. Reaching in, pull back. So now they're stretching their right glute muscle, their left hamstring, and their left calf. The other thing too, like Ken could do, is he can bring this foot straight up into the sky, and then he can work that toe around and make circles with it and work on ankle flexibility and mobility, just moving it around in the circle, moving around figure 8 while he's stretching through that calf, and he'll transition and stretch through his calf. So that's our figure 4 stretches. Again, you hold this as long as you feel like you need, but the minimum is going to be 30 seconds. We're next going to transition over into our pigeon stretch. The stretch has been around for a long time and it's still one of the best ones around. So we're going to take our left leg, we're going to cross it underneath of us. We're going to lay down on top of that leg and we're going to get a stretch in the glutes. So you notice the girls are really, really flexy so they can get a good stretch. They're going to put their chest down on there. As you relax into the stretch, the one thing I'm going to have them do to get a little bit more advanced stretch is they're going to rotate the hips over and sit into the hip, and then transition back over and kind of rock just a little bit to see where they're most tight in that hip that day. Whatever position you're the most tight in is where she's going to stop and hold again for that 30 seconds. Good. And have Ken bring this foot down flat and extend his toe out so he gets a little bit more stretch in the front of that hip flexor. If you can, try to stay there, relax, and breathe. It's up to you based on your flexibility. When we're stretching, we do not want it to be painful. That old school thing of stretch through the pain, we don't want that. We want a nice, relaxing stretch. Good, switch to your other legs. Good, so if we look at Clara's setup back here, the way she's doing it, if she needs more of a stretch, she can bring this foot further out in front of her hip. And now when she rolls into it, that'll increase the stretch that's in her glute. So the further that the foot's out towards the chest, the more of a stretch. If that's too much for you, you bring that foot back down towards your hips, more in like the position Ken has where it's tucked back in towards his belly button to decrease the stretch. But again, you want to be able to relax. Transition and rock a little bit left, a little bit right. Try to get the pelvis flat towards the floor. Find where you're the tightest, and then hold that position 30 seconds to 1.5 minutes. Our next exercise is one of my favorites. It's a fun one. It's called the gorilla walk, okay? This exercise warms up your whole entire body. It's a tough one, all right? But if you do these on a regular basis, you'll find out why they're so beneficial. They open up so many different parts of your body, your thoracic spine, your lumbar spine. It works on your shoulders, it works on your groin, your hamstrings, your hip flexors. It's one of the most total warm your body up exercise that I've ever seen in my life. I have everybody from 8-year-olds to 60-year-olds doing these things, and they've had vast improvement. So we're gonna go down into the starting position. We're gonna have the elbows inside the knees. The hands are gonna go straight down. You're gonna push the knees open. You're gonna lift your back up, get a big groin stretch. And then you're gonna transition out. Your hands are gonna go down, thumbs to the front, and then we're gonna walk forward like the gorilla. Shoulders over the hands, kick your hips to the front, and then transition into the next stretch. You're gonna push those knees back, get a big groin stretch, kick the knees through, good, and then move to the next, perfect, good job. You'll know when you're getting better at this because you'll be able to lift those knees off the ground and get those heels off the ground better. They're gonna flip around, transition, and head back in the other direction. Like I said, in your bedroom, wherever you're working out, in your gym, on the AstroTurf, if you've got 20 yards, do them 20 yards. If you're doing it in your living room, just do a couple trips back and forth. Pushing the knees open, stretching the groin, back is flat, kicking the heels through. If you look at the angle of the bend that Ken's getting in his knee, when we first started, he was nowhere near that. His flexibility has improved, his mobility in his hips and knees have improved, less knee pain. It's an unbelievable exercise. Very good. That's how we do our gorilla walks, okay? After the gorilla walk, we're gonna work into our bird dogs, swimmers, and supermans. This is an exercise for your lower back. If you got lower back pain, this is a great one to do it. So girls, I'm gonna have you do your swimmers from the plank positions. Ken, you're gonna do them from your knees, okay? We're gonna do 5 on each side for a total of 10. Gonna push that leg straight back, right leg goes straight back, left leg, good. And then this hand will come straight out towards me. There you go, squeeze the glute and take your time, transition through. Good, working on stability. Perfect. Great, so these are the more advanced versions you see the girls doing on the far ends. If you're a beginner to intermediate, you wanna do what Ken's doing. Good, the core is stable, the back is flat. They're taking their time to contract their glutes every time. Perfect. So that's our bird dog. The next one we're gonna move into is gonna be the swimmer. They're gonna go down flat on their stomach. Just like you're swimming in a pool, like you're doing a crawl. Right hand, left leg lift up. Good, and then down. You're just gonna transition. Good, perfect, just like that. Lift till you feel the glute squeeze. Lift till you feel the muscles in your back contracting. Make sure you inhale and exhale. If you look at Clara, she's got feet and hands moving both at the same time, so it's more like she's swimming in water. That's a more advanced technique. If you look at Ken and Olivia, they got one on the ground and one is moving. Again, you pick your rep range, 10 to 15, 20, whatever you got time for that day, but this improves the strength in your lower back. So that was a good one. All right, from in this position next, they're gonna stay both feet on the ground. They're gonna take their hands and ball them up in the fist, and they're gonna stick their thumbs up in the air, like this. Good, there we go. Bring your hands open, thumbs up. All right, so the first movement we're gonna do is we're gonna lift the thumbs off the ground by retracting the shoulder blades together, up and then back down. Good, perfect. Lift the thumbs up high as you can get them, squeeze the shoulder blades. We're gonna do this 10 times. So now we're working the muscles in their upper back. All through the back here, the traps, in the rear delts, in the rhomboids, in the lats. And this is good for shoulder mobility and shoulder strength and neck strength. So that's the first position in the Y. They're gonna do 5 to 6 reps. Then they're gonna move their hands back to the T position. So the hands are gonna move back straight in line with the shoulder. They're gonna do that exact same movement. If you wanna go more advanced, you can go ahead and lift your chest off the ground, lift your chin up, use your lower back like Clara's doing, like Olivia's doing. Good. This is an extremely hard exercise. No weights involved, but it will make your back burn, and it's great for your posture. Good. And then the last version is we're gonna bring the arms back to the V position. Same thing. If you want beginner, you keep your forehead on the ground. If you want more advanced, you pick up into the V position, squeeze those thumbs up. Working all of these muscles in between your scapula and your back, all your posture muscles and your lower back. And make sure that you're breathing, you're inhaling, you're exhaling, and you're not holding your breath. All right, next we're gonna come up on the all fours. We're gonna go into cat-cows. We do our cat-cows a little bit different. They're actually gonna go up on their knuckles and their thumbs. When they push up and they round their thoracic spine, they're gonna walk their hands all the way back towards their kneecaps and round their back the whole length of the thoracic spine. Back, good. Then they're gonna walk themselves back to the front. They're gonna exhale, they're gonna arch the back, lift that chin up, get that big sway down through the lumbar spine, get a big stretch through the neck, upper abdominals, and they're gonna walk themselves back and up through the thoracic spine into the cat position. Again, recommended rep range for this is up somewhere around 20, but you gotta manage your time, all right? You can do 10, you can do 20, you can do 50, whatever feels the best for you. So if your back is tight because you've been on your desk typing all day, or you've been at school for 8 hours and your back is all tight, this is a great exercise to spend more time on. Good, perfect, all great examples. Good job. All right, next we're gonna go into your thread the needle. So we're gonna be in all fours. The first one we're gonna do is we're gonna take the hand and we're gonna tuck it through. Yep, just like Olivia's doing, perfect. Good, good, and then we're gonna come up, look to the sky, exhale, bring that hand all the way up. Perfect, reach back, get a big stretch through your shoulder. Good, inhale, tuck it back through. Good, bring it back up. Perfect, nice, good job. So the next variation on this, you can do 10, 15, 20 of these, that's great. Just remember to breathe, don't make yourself dizzy. We're gonna go a little bit more advanced. This time they're gonna put the hand behind their head, and then they're gonna do the same thing by tucking the elbow through, just like you did before. Exhale, come back up, lift the elbow to the sky, stretch through the thoracic spine, beautiful, good job. And you can see all different variabilities in thoracic spine mobility in all three. Ken's extremely mobile. Look how far he's coming. You would never guess that he could do that until you see him do it. And good, switch to the other side. So we go straight arm first, 4 or 5 reps, then switch to the bent arm and knock out another 4 or 5 reps. Take your time, stretch and breathe. Inhale, exhale, work on spinning around that middle part of the thoracic spine from here to here. Lumbar spine here to here, thoracic here to here, cervical from the back of her head down to the top of her shoulders. Working through all areas of that mobility. Perfect, good. And then when you're ready, transition to the bent elbow position. Nice. So after this has set them up perfectly for one of our second best exercises, which comes in right behind the gorilla walk, is the world's greatest stretch. So what the world's greatest stretch is gonna look like is they're gonna go down into a lunge position. Based on your hip flexor flexibility, you can either put the knee down, but we're all gonna go with the knee off the ground. We're gonna start with the left hand inside, flat on the ground. We're gonna rotate up to the sky and stretch. That's not bad for an old guy that's cold. I haven't even warmed up. Come back down, hand flat, transition the foot over so the heel is up, and then I'm gonna work it to the other side. Same thing, rotate through, look up to the sky, back down, flat. And we're gonna transition side to side. 5, and then flip around and do the same thing to the other side. World's greatest stretch. Here we go. Believe it or not, I did not have that much mobility until about 3 months ago. Teaching this all the time, 5, 6, 7 times a day. My mobility has increased just from teaching it. It's unbelievable because I was stiff as a cinder block. Good, inhale and exhale, perfect. Good, nice. Good job. Knock out 5 repetitions and switch to the other side. Inhale, exhale, give yourself time to stretch, pivot, beautiful, good job. Nice. All right, once you got both sides done, go ahead and sit down flat on your mat. We're gonna face down here towards me. Now we're gonna loosen up your groin. All right, so we're gonna put the bottoms of the feet together. Olivia, I'm gonna have you face this way. All right, so you're gonna grab right onto your toes. You're gonna pull up on the toes, and all we're gonna do like a butterfly is wiggle the knees up and down. So this is like a dynamic warm up for your groin. You're gonna do that 20, 25 times. Get a little burn in the inside of the groin. And then from here, you're gonna sit up tall, put your hands on the inside of your knees, and then push down on your knees, sit up tall and stretch your groin. You're gonna hold that for about 10 seconds. If you can't get your hands on there, you're gonna put your elbows on it and push down. Try to keep your chin up, back flat, best you can. Inhale and exhale, go back down to your toes. And you're gonna go back to the butterfly again. 10 to 15 reps. So if you know you got an extremely tight groin, You might only spent 5 seconds on the world's greatest stretch, but you get here and you go, you know, this is my difficult spot. You might have to spend a minute or two here to work it. And back to the groin stretch. Hands or elbows on the knees, push down, back's nice and flat. Exhale and stretch the groin. Fantastic. Good. All right, so from this one, we're gonna go into the scoop the water. So with the scoop the water exercise, there's a lot of mistakes that's done with this one, so I'm gonna set it up first to make sure we do it the right way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my foot down, heel, pull my toe up. I'm gonna arch my back. So you can see I have a curve to my back. My chest is lifted. I'm gonna slide my hands straight down the back of my hamstrings and I'm pushing my glutes to the rear as far as I can. Run my hands down my knees, keeping my chin and my chest up. This is where we make the mistake. When the back goes into that cat position, you immediately lose the stretch in the hamstring. It doesn't matter if you can touch the ground. What matters is to get the stretch in the hamstring. From here, I'm gonna put my hands down. I'm gonna scoop the water while I'm still pushing my hips to the rear. My hands are going away from my butt. And then from here, when I get as high as I can, I'm gonna dig my left leg into the ground and I'm gonna pull myself back up to standing overhead. Push my hips to the front, squeeze my glutes. I'm gonna stick my foot out, pull my toe back, reach down the back of my leg. Hips are still traveling back, keep the chin and chest up, scoop the water, bring my hands as high as I can, dig my hamstring into the ground, full extension, squeeze the glute at the top. Nice and slow through that whole transition. So you'll go down and back once. Go ahead and stretch those hamstrings out. Nice curved back. Chest is up, chest up, chest up, chest up. Good. Dig the heel and pull to the front. Squeeze the left glute. Good. Perfect, good. You guys see Clara down there on the end. You see that big scoop to her lower back? It's exactly what we want to look like. As that heel extends, you see she's got this curve. Her chin and chest are still up. She's pulling through that hamstring. She's getting a beautiful stretch. Taking her time and breathing. That's exactly what we want to shoot for. That's good. Good. Take your time, dig that heel, squeeze the right glute, pull yourself to the front. Nice, good. Nice, good job. All right. So girls, you can go ahead and pull your mats back out. Ken's gonna finish his stretch up. And now we're gonna go to a very difficult stretch, what I call the pretzel stretch. All right, so girls, you're gonna see Ken do this and you're gonna walk through us with us systematically as we do it. Girls haven't done this one before. So we're gonna lay down flat on his back. He's gonna pull his heels up towards his glutes. All right, so he's gonna set it up. He's gonna reach back, grab the back of that leg. Perfect. Pull her back to the rear. He's gonna figure four this leg over the top. Now he's gonna pin his legs down towards the ground. Keeping this heel hooked up to his butt. This one's to the ground. He's reaching back, palm to the sky. Good. Now what he's gonna do from here is he's gonna pin this shoulder flat to the ground, and then he's gonna crunch up and bring his shoulder to my hand 10 times. 1, back to the floor, 2, back to the floor, 3. He's stretching everything from his core to his hip flexors to his glutes to his quads, all through his hips, his shoulders, his neck. Hitting so many different systems in this one stretch, and he's getting a good ab contraction with the obliques all through that movement. Girls, go ahead and join in. And then he's gonna switch to the other side after 10 reps. So you're gonna lay down flat, heels up to the butt. You're gonna grab this heel. You're gonna pretzel that one over the top. You're gonna roll all the way over to the ground. You're gonna take that hand straight out to the side. A little bit more out here. Yep, like that. Pull down, get this back a little bit further. Get a big stretch in the front of that hip flexor. Then once you're braced, you're gonna look up towards your hand. You're gonna crunch your shoulder up to me 10 times. Good. There you go. Perfect. Good. Crunch that shoulder up. Good. And then Clara can take her foot and push down on that knee and try to pin that thing to the floor. There we go. Push down on that knee, pin that. There we go. Good. So you can see all variabilities of the different positions the human body's tight, And that's what we work for. That's what I look for as a trainer, to find where their tightnesses, where their weaknesses are, because they're all different, because that's where they can sustain an injury, where they're tight. Very good, and switching to the other side. When Ken's done, he's just gonna pull his knees up to his chest, rock his lower back out, and let his lower back relax. And relax, good. So that brings us to the end of all of our mobility, stretching, flexibility exercises, all right? So the biggest thing with this, there's no set reps, there's no set time. It's where you feel you need it that day. This might take you an hour and a half. It might take you 30 minutes. You might get into it and you go, well, you know what, my shoulders feel amazing today. I'm just gonna hit them and move, go through my figure eights 10 times, but when you get down, you start stretching those glutes, or you get to your gorilla walk, or you get to your pigeon stretch, you're like, oh my God, I had no clue I was that tight that day. That's where you need to spend 2 or 3 minutes. Again, this is all up to you. Make this fit, but this should be about an hour-long workout. You should be sweating like all 3 of these when they're done, and it's a hard workout at the end of it. Good? All right, good job.